I'm going to be honest with you and with everyone listening. When I first picked up the stack of papers for today's deep dive, I didn't just hesitate. I actually got a little annoyed.
It doesn't exactly ease you in, does it?
Ease me in, it's a slap in the face. Right there. Bold as brass. The source material makes this claim that just it flies in the face of literally everything we see, everything we feel when we've been wronged. It says, I'm quoting here, there are no victims or losers or traitors or wrongdoers or guilty ones in this existence.
It definitely stops you in your tracks.
It does more than that. It feels, I don't know, dismissive. I mean, you look around the world, no victims, no wrongdoers. Tell that to someone who's just been through something awful. It feels, well, irresponsible. So my first question is, how do we even begin with this without just shutting down?
Well, that reaction you're feeling, that resistance, that is exactly what the text wants. It's designed to be confrontational. If it didn't provoke that wait a minute response, it wouldn't be doing its job. We have to clarify the mission here. We aren't analyzing a legal textbook. This is, a metaphysical text. It's operating on a completely different layer of reality.
Right. So we're not in a courtroom. We're in what?
The cosmos.
We're in the realm of non-duality. The text is inviting us to look at the mechanics of consciousness itself. It's arguing that what we see as real life, the drama, the pain, the blame, is actually a construct, a choice.
A choice. That's the God-self concept the notes mention.
Correct, the God self. The idea is to move from external blame to, well, absolute radical internal responsibility.
Absolute responsibility. That sounds terrifying.
It is terrifying to the ego, but the text argues it's the only path to actual freedom.
Right. I'm skeptical, but I'm still here. Let's try to unpack this no victims thing.
Yeah.
Because the text doesn't just say get over it. It offers a specific mechanic for why people do bad things. It says no one was ever wrong because they were wrong.
It's a bit of a linguistic loop, isn't it?
It is. It sounds like a riddle. But look closer. It says people act wrongly because they inconsistently assume they were right. But here's the kicker, and this is where we have to slow down. It says they were unconscious on purpose.
Unconscious on purpose. Wait, that's contradiction. If I'm unconscious, I don't know what I'm doing. If I do it on purpose, I'm conscious. How can you be both?
That's the paradox. That's the whole point. It suggests that on a human level, in the moment, you might be reacting blindly unconsciously. But on a soul level, on that God-self level, you made a choice to go into that situation blind.
You chose to be blind.
The text explicitly states, on a higher level, they wanted to experience being wrong, and they actually secretly chose to be wrong. A secret choice.
So if I make a massive mess of my life, let's say I invest in a bad company, lose everything. I shouldn't say I was tricked. I should say, deep down, my soul wanted to see what losing it all felt like.
According to the source, yes. It's all about the desire for experience. Think about it. If you were an infinite, all-knowing being, existence would be incredibly static. No surprise, no risk.
It'd be boring. Being all-powerful is boring.
Exactly. So to experience the thrill or the sadness or the betrayal, you have to voluntarily limit yourself. You have to forget your God. You have to put on a blindfold,
It's like playing a video game on hard mode. I get that. When you have the cheat codes that make you invincible, the game is fun for about 5 minutes. Then you turn them off because you want the risk to feel real.
That's a great analogy, but let's push it further because the text does. In a game, if you lose, you just respawn. In life, the losing hurts. Real suffering is involved. This text isn't denying the pain. It's reframing the origin of the pain. It's saying the pain wasn't inflicted upon you by some villain. It was designed by you, the architect, for the sake of the experience.
So if I'm the architect, then there are no traitors.
Precisely. If someone betrays you in this framework, they are just an actor you hired to play the role of the betrayer so you could experience betrayal.
Man, that is a hard pill to swallow. It completely dissolves the whole good guy versus bad guy narrative we all love so much.
It dissolves the victim identity entirely. Because a victim is someone who has been overpowered against their will. But if your higher will wrote the script, you aren't a victim. You're an explorer.
An explorer?
The text says, all is sacred. All is known deeply within. Even the messiest parts of your life are sacred because they were intentional.
Intentional? Okay, I can see the logic, even if my emotional side is like screaming, no, it was definitely that other guy's fault. But let's assume we accept this. We're God's selves dreaming up a chaotic life. How does that change how we interact with the world, like right now?
This is crucial. It brings us to the concept of the mirror. The source material is adamant. The external will only share all of what the God has accepted within.
This part actually made me look around my apartment this morning. I saw a pile of laundry and a sink full of dishes, and I thought, does this mean my soul is dirty?
Well, not dirty in a moral sense. But the text would argue that the chaos in your sink is a direct reflection of a state of mind you've accepted. Maybe it's procrastination. Maybe it's a feeling of being overwhelmed. The physical world is just a printout.
A printout. I like that. You can't change the document by scribbling on the printout. You have to go back to the computer.
Exactly. And that's where most of us get stuck. We spend our whole lives trying to edit the printout. We think, if I just get a better job, I'll feel secure. Or if I move to a new city, I'll be happy.
The geographic cure. I've tried that one. It doesn't work. You just end up being sad in a nicer zip code.
Because you took the internal state with you. The text calls the external world dreamative.
Dreamative. I circled that word 3 times. It's not a real word, is it? It feels like the author just smashed dream and creative together.
It seems to be. Yeah, a neologism. It emphasizes that this reality is a lucid dream, a creative narrative we're dreaming up. And then the text drops this absolute mind-bender of a sentence.
Oh, I know the one. All presence is beyond real that it is fake, and beyond fake that it is real.
Right. What do you even do with that?
My brain did a somersault. Beyond real that it is fake. What does that even mean?
It's addressing the paradox of the simulation. It's fake because it's not the fundamental reality. It's just a projection, a dream.
Yeah.
But it's beyond fake that it is real because the experience of it, the emotion, the touch, the grief is undeniably vivid. It feels real.
So it's real enough to matter, but fake enough that we shouldn't get attached to it.
That's the balance. And that's why the text instructs us to let go of the external. Attachments are illusions. If you are looking at the external world, the mirror, hoping it will give you validation, you're looking at a reflection and asking it to hug you.
Asking a reflection to hug you, that's kind of tragic.
It is, and we do it every day. We wait for the promotion to feel valuable. We wait for the text message to feel worthy. We're outsourcing our self-worth to a hologram.
Okay, so if the hologram can't help me and I need to go internal, what am I looking for? Because when I close my eyes and look inside, I don't see God, I see a to-do list. I see anxiety, I see just noise. Or nothing, which is even scarier.
That fear of the nothing is exactly what this text tries to dismantle.
Yeah.
This is maybe the most difficult part. The text says the true self isn't in the creation. It resides in the, and get ready for this phrase, internal, nothingness, darkness, God awareness, presence.
Yeah, the formatting there is so weird. It's in parentheses like a math problem.
Yeah.
Nothingness, darkness.
No.
God, we usually associate darkness with, evil. Or the void. We run from the void.
We do. We're terrified of empty space. We fill every silence with podcasts, ironically, or music or scrolling. But the text rebrands this and says, henceforward, non-nothingness is the existence.
So what is that?
It's arguing that nothingness isn't the lack of something. It's the source of everything. Think of it not as emptiness, but as pure potential.
Like a blank canvas.
More like the darkness of a movie theater. You need the darkness for the movie to be visible. If the lights are on, if the creation is all there is, you can't see the projection. The darkness is the projector, is that shining state of awareness.
So when the text says thy soul is in that nothingness, it's telling me to identify with the projector, not the movie.
Yes. Stop thinking you are the character running around on screen getting your heart broken. Realize you are the silent, dark, aware presence that is watching the character. That presence is safe. That presence is the God self.
That sounds peaceful, but also really hard to maintain. I can sit on a cushion and feel like the projector for, 10 minutes? Then I have to go deal with traffic or a coworker who steals my lunch. How do we bridge that gap?
That brings us to the practical application. The text gives a command. Live knowing and therefore experiencing purity. And the tool to do that is forgiveness.
Live forgiving everlastingly. I kind of like that word, everlastingly. It sounds infinite, but why forgiveness? Is it just about being a nice person?
No, it has nothing to do with being nice. It's mechanical. The text repeats a mantra 4 times. I am you, I am you, I am you, I am you.
It's relentless.
It has to be.
Yeah.
If we accept the premise that we are all the same God self dreaming different lives, then there's no separation. I am you. So if I hold a grudge against you, who am I really hurting?
Yourself.
Exactly. It's an autoimmune disease of the soul. Attacking you is attacking me.
But let's play devil's advocate. Intellectually, I get it. We are all one. But emotionally, if someone hurts my family or cheats me out of my life savings, the text says I should forgive them because they are me. That feels like it's just bypassing justice.
It's a radical shift. And it's not easy. But remember the secret choice we talked about. If you wrote the script where you get cheated to learn about loss, and that person agreed to play the cheater,
Mm.
then forgiving them isn't about letting them off the hook.
It's about acknowledging the script.
Yes, it's saying, okay, scene over. I don't need to carry this prop around anymore.
So holding the grudge is just dragging the prop from scene 1 all the way into scene 10.
And it's cluttering up the stage. The text says, if you truly love, you do not mind letting go. It frames forgiveness as a release of mental limits. It actually says physical limits are ended by mental and emotional limits.
That's an interesting connection. So my physical reality is stuck because my emotional reality is stuck on repeat.
That's the implication. You can't manifest a new reality, a new dream, if you are still emotionally anchored to the old one. To be divine is to be fluid, to let go.
Speaking of being fluid, the text takes a sudden turn about halfway through. The tone changes completely. It goes from this mystical prose to, well, shouting.
The all caps section, yeah, it's pretty jarring.
It is. It's like the author suddenly grabbed a megaphone. You know what's going on already. Break your ego. Mix things up. It's like a locker room pep talk for your soul.
That's the shift from theory to action. It's telling you to stop intellectualizing all this and let's start trusting your gut. Trust your intuition and yourself more than anything.
But isn't that dangerous? Trust yourself more than anything. I mean, myself sometimes wants to eat an entire cake. If I trust that, I'm in trouble.
But which self is that? Is that the God self or is that the ego?
Touché. I guess the ego wants the cake. The God self probably wants, I don't know, balance.
The text actually offers a safeguard here. It says, trust your intuition, but remember to be open-minded. Question things. Be more honest than you were before.
That honesty part stings a bit. Be more honest than you were before.
That's the filter. Radical honesty usually means admitting where you're playing the victim, admitting where you are acting out of fear, not love. Trusting your intuition means you first have to clear out the noise of the ego.
So break your ego isn't about destroying your personality. It's about shattering the false stories you tell yourself.
Exactly. It's about letting go of the identity that needs to be right or needs to be hurt. The text says, let go of things that don't support you on levels you're conscious of.
That distinction, conscious and unconscious, is huge. We hold on to so much junk just because it's familiar. Like, I might complain about my stress, but unconsciously, maybe I love the stress because it makes me feel important.
That is a profound insight. And the text is saying, that doesn't support you. Let it go. It's an act of self-love to walk away from what drains you, even if that thing is part of your own identity.
And the source wraps up this intense shouting match with emojis, smiles, and hearts. It's surprisingly tender at the end.
It is. It circles back to love. The message isn't, you're doing it wrong, fix it. The message is, wake up, you're dreaming, and you are the dreamer. It's meant to be empowering.
So let's try to pull this all together. We started with this idea that the world we see, the drama, the victims, the villains, is a dreamative illusion.
A lucid dream where we, the God self, have secretly chosen every single challenge.
Right. And we talked about the mirror, how we have to stop asking the reflection to hug us.
And to do that, we have to find that internal nothingness, that shining darkness where the tree observer lives.
And the mechanic to keep this all going is radical forgiveness. I am you. Letting go of the grudge is letting go of the self-sabotage.
And finally, we got the marching orders. Break the ego, trust your intuition, and be ruthlessly honest about what supports you and what doesn't.
It's a lot to process. It completely flips the script on how we navigate a Tuesday.
It does. It requires you to be in the world, but not of it. To play the game, but know it's a game.
You know, there's one definition in the source that we haven't touched on, but I think it's the perfect place to leave this. We talked about dreamative, but what about beyond?
Yes. The text describes the God self as beyond. It says it is infinitely complex, infinitely simple, singular.
I love that paradox, infinitely complex yet singular. It suggests that once you get past all the noise, the truth is actually very simple.
The truth is usually simple. It's the lies that are complicated. The ego loves complexity. The soul just...
So here is the thought I want to leave you with today. If the text is right, if you are truly the God self, experiencing a lucid dream of your own making, what part of the dream are you complaining about right now? And more importantly, what limit or attachment are you keeping merely because you haven't yet decided to wake up and let it go?
That's the question. What would happen if you just stopped playing that level?
Something to think about. Thanks for taking this trip to the beyond with us.
Always a pleasure. Live forgiving.
We'll catch you in the next deep dive.